The increase in the width of the depletion region in a PN junction diode is due to reverse bias only. Six similar bulbs are connected with a DC source of EMF E and zero internal resistance. The ratio of power consumption by the bulbs when one all are glowing and two in the situation when two from section A and one from section B are glowing will be 9 is to 4. A hollow metal sphere of radius r is uniformly changed. The electric field due to the sphere at a distance r from the center. 0 as a smaller increases for smaller less than capital R. Decreases as smaller increases for smaller greater than. The work done to raise a mass m from the surface of the earth to a height h, which is equal to the radius of the earth, is half mg or. An electron falls from rest through a vertical distance h in a uniform and vertically upward direction directed electric field E. The direction of electric field is now reversed, keeping its magnitude the same. A portion is allowed to fall from rest in it through the same vertical distance h. The time of fall of the electron in comparison to the time of fall of the proton is smaller. The electrostatic force between the metal plates of an isolated parallel plate capacitor C having a charge Q and a area A is independent of the distance between the plates. A capacitor is charged by a battery. The battery is removed and another identical uncharged capacitor is connected in parallel. The total electrostatic energy of a resulting system decreases by a factor of 2. Suppose the charge of proton and an electron differ slightly. One of them is minus C, the other is E plus delta E. If the net of electrostatic force and gravitational force between two hydrogen atoms placed at a distance d much greater than atomic size, a part is 0. Then delta E is of the order of 10 to the power of minus 37 C. A parallel plate capacitor of A plate separated D and capacitance C is filled with four dielectric materials having dielectric constants K1, K2, K3 and K4. If a single dielectric material is to be used to have the same capacitance C in this capacitor, then its dielectric constant K is given by 2 by K is equal to 3 by K1 plus K2 plus K4 plus 1 by K4. Two pitballs carrying equal charges are suspended from a common point by strings of equal length. The equilibrium separation between them is R. Now the strings are rigidly clamped at a half at the height. The equilibrium separation between the balls now become R by 3 root 2. A parallel plate air capacitor has capacity C. Distance of separation between plate is D, and potential difference between the plates of a parallel plate air capacitor is CV square by 2D. The electric field in a certain region is acting radially outward and is given by E is equal to AR. A charge contained in a sphere of radius a small a centered at the origin of the field will be given by 4 by epsilon 0 capital A into small a to the power of 3. A parallel plate capacitor of capacitance C is connected to a cell of EMF V and then disconnected from it. A dielectric slab of dielectric constant K, which can just fill the air gap of the capacitor, is now inserted in it. Which of the reaction occurred? The charge on the capacitor is not conserved. A charge Q is placed at the center of the joining two equal charges Q. The three charges will be in equilibrium if Q is equal to minus Q by 4. A conducting sphere of radius r is given a charge Q. The electric potential and the electric field at the center of the sphere respectively are Q by 4 pi epsilon 0 r and 0. A charge Q is located at the center of cube. The electric flux through any phase is 4 pi Q by 6 into 4 pi epsilon. Electric dipole has the magnitude of its charge as Q and its dipole moment is P. It is placed in a uniform electric field E if its dipole moment is along the direction of the field. The force on it and its potential energy are respectively 0 and minimum. Two positive ions, each carrying a charge Q, are separated by distance d. If F is the force of repulsion between the ions, the number of electrons missing from each ion will be root 4 pi epsilon F d square by E square. What is the flux through a cube if Q is at one of its corner? Q by 8 epsilon 0. An electric dipole of moment P is placed in an electric field of intensity E. The dipole acquires a position such that the axis of the dipole makes an angle theta with the direction of the field. Assuming that the potential energy of the dipole to be 0 when theta is equal to 90 degrees. The torque and the potential energy of dipole will respectively Pe sin theta and minus Pe cos theta.